Hey, we're going to recap some Kanye news that's gone on over the last few days. Nothing big, but just I thought it'd be fun to look over it and give some comments on it and kind of follow up with some stories you may have heard about. One thing that happened, Kanye dropped some new Wes Lang design long sleeves, and you can see them here. I think this is one that we had seen during the listening parties. Kanye and this one was brand new, at least to me. And this was the other one, which we saw Kanye in the night of the Ye listening party. And actually, on the website right now for Yeezy Supply, what the fuck? That doesn't take you to Yeezy Supply. Here we go. Yeezy Supply. The Wes Lang is still available, which this is actually the one that I got. So I guess I picked the least popular of the three. But to me, this was the most awesome. I don't know. I just got really hyped about this. I saw it and was like, yeah, I want to walk around with a skeleton on my fucking shirt. Give me that. So I'm pumped to be having this one. And when I get it, I will wear that in a video and see if I can make it look as styling and profiling as Kanye and Ric Flair. So next up, if you want to get that though, you still have time to get that. Next up, a woman creates a 315-pound Kanye West pumpkin with a MAGA-like hat. Jeanette Paris of Dublin, Ohio, OH, painted Kanye West on a 315-pound pumpkin, and it says "Make pumpkins great again." One, like getting a 315-pound pumpkin is an achievement in and of itself, but then painting that shit to kind of look like Kanye and to then make the big hat. I think making the hat is almost more impressive than any of the rest of it. Or the ears. She had to make the ears. That's a crazy thing. But Ohio, for people that weren't born and raised in Ohio, it's boring as shit. So this is the kind of stuff that you get into, when you're just bored, have nothing to do. The Indians are a disappointment. The Browns, they were still kicking around. They're doing better now, but the Cavs are a disappointment. When you don't have good sports teams going on in Ohio, I guess you always have OSU, but you make pumpkins. That's what you do. And this is a little bit of follow-up. I'm sure by now most of you have heard about the What's Free Meek Mill song that had the Jay-Z verse that was so controversial. And it was funny because there are people that think that it's the least controversial thing ever, and that what Jay-Z said was completely clear. And there's people that are like, I still kind of think he was dissing Kanye. I think the fact that Jay-Z tweeted out, the line clearly meant don't pit me against my brothers no matter what the differences are, it shows that Jay didn't mean any potential diss with it. After 444 came out and people thought there were disses on Kill Jay-Z, which there are people that still argue that wasn't a diss. I'm in the camp that it was, especially if you look at the lyrics to La La Land. And the Jay-Z and Beyonce album that I can't remember the name of and accidentally referred to as the Carter 5 the other day, which is so dumb. I was recording a video and I was like 20 minutes into the video and called that album the Carter 5 and didn't realize it until 5 minutes later. And because they don't edit these at all, I just had to start the video over because I couldn't be on record having said something that incredibly stupid. But now I'm just telling you about it. But it just cracked me up that that's what I went to. Anyway, he took shots at Kanye on that album and didn't clarify any of them, even though there was a bunch of uproar and media attention about, like, was that a Kanye diss? That was a Kanye diss. For him to come out at this point and be like, yo, that wasn't a diss, I think is meaningful. And the line was, no red hat, don't Michael and Prince me and Ye. They separate you when you got Michael and Prince's DNA. I made a video about that going over it, so if you want the details about why people thought it was a diss or why people are sure it wasn't a diss and how that confusion over the line happened, check out that video. It would have been the one right before this. But so just a little bit of a follow-up. People asked Meek about it. They're like, Meek, what do you think? It's his song. He's on the song. And Meek was on CNN when it came up. And he said, I don't think he really goes after Kanye, which is after the host suggested that Jay-Z did. I think he actually just says, don't let him separate us like they did Michael Jackson and Prince. Uh, Basically, Kanye came out of nowhere and just went red hat, and that was kind of like against everything we represent. I don't know what West represents, but coming up in the hip hop community, we came up fighting and fighting for our rights for a long time. What that red hat represents doesn't really represent what we've been fighting for our whole lives, which it's a little strange to me because it sounds like, at the first part, he's like, it said, don't separate us. And then goes on to say that, like, Kanye took the side that is against everything we represent, which almost says that Kanye was on the separate side of everything without straightforward saying that, but that is the implication, and saying he doesn't know what West represents, which is fighting for our rights. I mean, that's really what he was going after. Did he go after it in the best and most clear way possible that brought the most people to his cause? No. But there was actually a video I was watching the other day. It was Kanye's appearance on Punk'd, which was season 3, episode 8, if you want to check it out. Kanye was in the middle of filming Jesus Walks when they had the LA Film Commission show up and try to take the video footage. And Kanye freaks out about it, of course. But they get him on camera by pretending they're interviewing him. And they ask him something about the media. And he says, I think the media needs to care more about intent, not content. And that's such a perfect encapsulation of Kanye, and I think summarized 2018 for Kanye so well, in that the media was so focused on the content that they used that to judge Kanye's intent. And the content, like the red hat, they judged that as meaning that Kanye's intent was awful, was politically aligned with Trump, was representative of everything that Trump and his politics are, when Kanye's intent was much different. His intent was monolithic thought. His intent was loving everybody. His intent was showing that you can't tell me what to like and not like, what to do, not to do. And instead of looking at his intent and judging the content by that, it got all weird. And I don't know, it's just kind of interesting to hear Meek talk about it and say that he has no idea what Kanye represents, but in this way kind of separates Kanye while saying that the song wasn't saying, was Jay-Z saying, don't separate us. Just adds more confusion to it, I think. But he did say, I had dreams my whole life of having a Jay-Z verse, being able to rap with Jay-Z, who I view as the greatest of all time. Whatever he did, I was just going to accept it, and that's what he gave me, and I was happy with that. It reminds me at the end of Last Call when Kanye's talking about how when he gave Jay the beats and got to hear Jay rap on it, he got the soulful, introspective Jay-Z and was like, that's not quite the one I wanted. I wanted, like, the more, like, in your face, like, Jay-Z, but what was he going to say? So kind of funny to hear Meek Mill say essentially that same thing almost 20 years later. 20? Yeah, almost 20 years later. Crazy. Then there's this article. I don't know why I'm using this one, but we're going to talk about it a little bit with Team Kanye Daily. Kanye and Kim went out to the Versace pre-fall 2019 runway show, and they say that it's the first public appearance together, their first in months, which, I don't know, if you're paying attention to Kanye, you see him and Kim in Africa, you see photos of him and Kim around the house, going to dinner, movies. You see them out and about together a lot, but they kind of frame this in a more gossipy way, with some implication, I think, to it, but just like, oh, this is the first one that we've seen them at in months. What could that mean? And it's just like, Kanye hadn't really been doing public appearances as of late. So this is more the first one that Kanye's really done where him and Kim have had their schedules aligned rather than just like, things are good again. Things have been fine. But we're going to look at the pictures from that in the Team Kanye Daily post because they have a lot of great videos, photos, and some details from that. But then Hypebeast has this article, Kanye West spotted an updated version of Yeezy Boost 700. And you can kind of see it there, this early design. The biggest change is this sole coming in through here. And shown on Twitter, Ye posted a fit pic that was accompanied by a message which revealed exactly what he had on. Dubbed the Yeezy Boost 700 VX, the caption for the photo reveals the shoe was created by legendary footwear designer Christian Schresser and current Yeezy design director Steven Smith. The duo, who both worked for Reebok in the early 90s, are now teaming up once again to overlook the progressive direction of Yeezy footwear. Maintaining the look of the original, the upper of the Yeezy Boost 700 VX features panels that read 700 on the lateral side, coupled with a reworked sole unit courtesy of Smith. And then you can see how Kanye tweeted this. And I think this is such a perfect example of Kanye West. There were so many people that read this and were like, this is gibberish. Kanye posted this photo and he posted gibberish to go with the photo. And there were a ton of people just being like, what? Kanye's lost his mind. What is this? But it all makes sense if you know and like take the time. It's an undercover, oh God, Team Kanye Daily had it. I wish I could find it now. I should have brought it up before starting the video. You think it would just be one of the top. Well, so this is what I said about it. I think this tweet really encapsulates how people interact with Kanye. Everything he said makes sense if you take the time to figure it out or know the references. Some get that. If you don't, then it seems like gibberish or is too much work, which can lead to dismissing it. And there's so many people that will listen to a Kanye album and dismiss it because it may seem like this at first. This is how Yeezus, Life of Pablo, Ye, and Kids See Ghost seem to a lot of people. This kind of gibberish. And that even if there is meaning to it, it's so weirdly presented that they don't give a fuck and they'd rather something that is straightforward and easy to read and clear, like College Dropout, Late Registration, Graduation, 808s, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which kind of gets into the dichotomy of people's relationships with the albums. You know, some people are fine with both. They'll take Kanye clearly writing something, they'll take this, and to them it's just Kanye. There's people that really won't fuck with the one and will with the other, or there's people that think this is more fun and engaging and interesting, and if he tweeted like this all the time, they think it's the most fun thing in the world. Not everybody's like that, but this does have meaning. It's a Japanese designer jacket, a Van Cleef bracelet, Yeezy Season 6 shirt, Christian Schresser designed 700s, Steve Smith bottom, and then Born Dead, I think it was, sweats from a market in Japan, which somebody right now is going, it's that market, you fool. And it is that market. You're absolutely right. I just don't remember what the market is. So I thought that's a nice encapsulation of the Kanye experience and kind of shows the dichotomy that some people have when it comes to Kanye, and especially in the media. Like with everything that went on in 2018 with Kanye, it was essentially this. And then people would get headlines that were just based off not really paying attention and then missing the rest of the context from whatever's in here and judging Kanye by that without having the full picture of anything else that was being said, done, going on. Like, I just had somebody tell me today that Kanye flying on the 747, which is this article, really convinced them that Kanye's an asshole. And they always thought he was kind of a nice guy, a little bit egotistical, but like overall, like meant well. But him renting out a 747 and going on that, how wasteful, he must be a dick. I was like, did you know he donated $500,000 to the firefighters in California and $50,000 to this guy's family and $100,000 to this? And she's like, oh, I guess he is a nice guy. I was like, yeah, he can be. I mean, you can still criticize him for things. He can still be reckless for this, but it doesn't mean that he's either an asshole or a saint. He can be somebody that's capable of both things, as all of us are capable of being. But this is a long article from Doug Golan detailing the 747 that Kanye and Kim flew on. It's just a lot of information about the history of private 747s, and specifically the one that Kanye and Kim flew on, and how they're owned by this weird casino guy, Sheldon Adelson, who I feel like John Oliver did a episode that was dedicated to this guy and his donations and what he gets out of it, and how he's kind of a strange dude, but a strange, like, dark money operator in the political system. But they just talk about all the details. It's kind of a really boring article, but if you want more information about a Private 47, if there's something very curious to you about that, then this is the article for you that you've been dreaming of and waiting for. And then lastly, Team Kanye Daily. You can see these pictures that they got. Like, look how fucking happy Kanye is there. Look at that guy. Cracks me up. And then that's the scoop face. Scoop. Kim's cracking up. They look so happy. And you can see Kanye and Young Thug posing. Kanye striking the same pose that he had in Japan with Takashi Murakami. These are my two favorites. So you see Kanye there just looking like happy as can be. That coat's fine as fuck. And then Kanye here is just giving this like Zoolander-like look, crouched down. That's just a cool ass photo. Yeah. And you get a video of Kanye and Kim posing, laughing, just being happy with one another. It's a pretty good promoted tweet. Most promoted tweets are really annoying and I just go buy them, but I don't know. This is involving dinosaurs, so. And the Lego Jurassic Creations? I'm on board with that. That's a pretty good ad. But there was an earring that dropped during it, and Kanye went down and scooped up this earring, corrected the camera up at me, and then he's just like, yeah, this is mine now. Here's him with people posing again, after party, and then doing something else with 2 Chainz where they're just kind of goofing around, as Team Kanye Daily said. But it was just him in the day during New York. And earlier in the week, oh, this video was great too. Dude's fucking sleeping. I think this is at their hotel room in New York City. But you can see this blanket. It's insane. Comforter? I don't even know if I have the vocabulary to describe like what rich people sleep under at this level. Comforter? But how crazy it is. And then Kanye's outfit is crazy. And Kim's telling him to wake up, and Mama's playing in the background. And when she pulls the blanket from him, he actually makes like a roaring noise, like, nah, and pulls the blanket back up. So Kanye was sleepy as fuck. I get it, yay. I get it. So that kind of rounds things up. Kanye was just in Japan. Wow, north. With Murakami doing some things. That's why he actually took the 747, was to go out to Japan. There's speculation if that was work-related, album-related, fashion-related. What could have been going on? He was at, I think, a Tokyo design school at one point. That jacket's awesome. I wish I had the money to buy that jacket. One day. Someday, you know? But, I guess that's a Kanye West news roundup for now. I actually got a request for a video, so I'm going to do that next. I can't remember what it was, but it was a comment. So you that made the comment, I'll get that video. If you have any other requests for me that you want me to make a video about, leave a comment on this video and I'll look to get to it. If you want to participate in the Best Kanye West Song Tournament Deathmatch Extreme 3000, it's going on now. You can see the tournament bracket that we have. We started with 146 songs, and we're going to go all the way down until we find the winner. Runaway won last year, and now is in the Hall of Champions off to the side. It's not competing. So it's wide open who could potentially win. We made it through the preliminary round, and now in the first of 8 days going over the, I guess, first round of matchups. So yeah, that's That was day 2. We're in day 3 right now. So the current polls: Say You Will is beating Crack Music. Jesus Walks crushing Ye versus the People. Everything I Am is narrowly losing to Blame Game. Drive Slow slowly beating Pinocchio Story. Touch the Sky crushing Liftoff. On Site ahead of Yikes. You know, we were wondering how Ye and Kids See Ghost songs were going to do in this tournament, and I think this is the first Ye song that's in a bracket and not winning. But On Site's On Site, you know? Blood on the Leaves versus I'm In It. Just not getting the respect it deserves, but Blood on the Leaves. And then Violent Crimes is going to be the first one from Ye that takes a victory, unless there's a huge swell for New Godflow. I mean, it looks like a pretty huge swing, but we're talking like really 5% of the votes, which ends up being like 40 or 50 votes at this point could swing that thing. So if you want to go in and impact voting, then go ahead and find us on Twitter, find this poll that's pinned up top, and you can participate. This will be going on from December 1st through December 25th. And that's going to be the day that the winners are decided. So you can join us every day for that. But I'll be back with another video tomorrow. Hope you all had a great weekend. Happy Hanukkah. And we'll talk soon. See ya.